This is Self-Care for Parents, and I'm with April Parker and Sasha Frinzl, two of our volunteers with Moms Supporting Moms. We're talking about this, I think, because so many people, but women and then mothers especially, right, have a difficult time figuring out self-care, making it happen. Why do you think that is? Like, what are some of those challenges, and kind of how to maybe get over those challenges?
I think moms in particular always have a million and one things going on at once, and we are completely selfless, and we're always giving ourselves to other people and to our children and to every single task that we have in front of us, and we're always doing more than one thing at once. And I think that once we finally have a moment to ourselves, the last thing we really want to do is think or do something for ourselves. We just kind of want to just be, just plop down on the couch. And I think that what we're not acknowledging or recognizing is that that plop on the couch is actually self-care. To just taking that moment and just being like, oh, I did it. But because we're always striving for more and trying to better ourselves or comparing ourselves to everybody else, we think that it has to be, I ran 2 miles or I did this, we're putting ourselves to this pedestal. So I think that's kind of like how we're having a difficult time practicing it, is because we're not just aware of simply taking a second to breathe, take a deep breath. That's self-care right there. And just acknowledging that we're doing it.
Yeah, it makes me think about, I hear moms in group and there's almost like this underlying pressure that they put on themselves for, like, I don't know, that the self-care's got to be so good, right? It has to be this certain, it looks a certain way. And I have no scientific research, but I think that from anecdotally, type A women seem to have more challenges with perinatal mood issues. And so then there's also this kind of type A level of, what does self-care have to look like? And it can be something as small as letting yourself sit down for a moment.
I think that's one of the challenges for right now under the this cloud of COVID-19, where a lot of things that people used to do for self-care activities, they're very limited now. They're restricted from doing a lot of things. So I know for a lot of women, like getting a massage or just going out for a manicure and pedicure, because you have to do that alone. You're making time for yourself to treat yourself. And those are things we cannot do right now. So when your toolbox is like been pretty much robbed of your tools, what do you have left to do? So this is a time, I think, that we can all reassess exactly what the value is in the self-care activities and what are we really need to do to take care of ourselves that really don't involve money. They don't really involve going anywhere. What are some things that we can do to take care of ourselves in our environment now? And that's a challenge, but it's one that we're having to figure out.
Yeah, and I think it can be a really rewarding one, right? If you kind of, it's challenging, but if you strip all that away and kind of figure out what else self-care can look like. I know for me, I'm taking walks religiously, and I just went on one right before we got on together, and I just, like, I have to do it. And I think also part of that, I guess, that we didn't say about, well, I think Sasha kind of did, which is you have to be thoughtful about it, at least in my definition. Like, self-care for me as a mom of 3 is not going to happen spontaneously.
Right.
So it's something that I have to plan or have to be looking for, how to catch that moment. And, my walks are one of those things that I'm trying to be thoughtful about